Hey guys, I just watched the new episode of Yellowstone. Behind us is all gray. It was actually brand new last night, but I watched the previous episode last night, rewatched it, and watched this new episode tonight. And it was pretty much still insane going on. Rip actually woke up in Beth's bed, and I guess after he got out of the hospital or got checked out, she just had him put him in there, and they kind of like had a little sweet moment, and they slept in the same bed, not slept together, but just slept in the same bed. And then he got dressed and went back to the bunkhouse and saying like, and Beth was trying to keep him there, like saying like, you need rest, the doctor says you need rest, and he's like, there's beds in the bunkhouse, and I'm just like kind of getting too used to this, and just damn, I hated that. And I think John is kind of just getting the idea, or kind of realizing that there's something there. He's just looking back and forth and seeing how they all they both look at each other. And Casey and Monica was not being dumb, like knowing something's going on, and she finally confronts Casey, and then they pretty much like have this moment of like they seem like they're wanting to move out of the house. And John actually goes to Monica and says like, hey, give this place a chance, don't just, bad things happen everywhere, just not here. And yeah, and this whole time they were all outside and watching Casey train their son's horse, and because her son, John actually bought their son a horse. And the whole time were those two enemies, brothers, they were at their office, and one of them, the like really bad one actually, is like throwing shit around and just freaking out. Pretty much this has happened the morning of when he found the bodies in his front yard, I suppose. Like just went to work and just totally let it out in the office. And it doesn't show it, but I'm pretty sure it's the same brothers who shot like one of the tribal members on tribal land. And when all the county and everything gets there, because like 911, hello, and John actually shows up with Casey and Jamie, and he told Jamie like, tonight you actually have to be a lawyer because he's been cowboying on the ranch this whole time. And so they all get out of the van, and they all kind of come together, and they were like, we know who did this, because John Dutton, the lead of the Indian tribe, and then the one billionaire guy who came to Montana to develop all of Montana, they've all been three kind of enemies, but they all kind of respect each other, and just like they're good, like respectable enemies, I guess. And they all kind of had this like soprano moment, sit down, and they all basically discussing how these brothers are going to die. Like the cable guy, or the developer guy, was like, we need to kill him. They're all like kind of recording this because they have like a tape recorder, and the tribal guy was like, well, I can't say if we're gonna kill him because I'm like the head of the tribe, and that will like look bad, and all my people all throughout this land, not just his own tribe, but all the tribes are gonna suffer for it. But he was like, but I will say this, and he grabs the recorder and says, on tribal land, no one looks for you if you disappear. So no one will find them if they disappear on my land. And then John Dutton grabs the mic and or tape recorder and stops it and just puts it in his pocket. And it's like, I don't have to say anything because I'm the one who's actually going to do it. And when then they all kind of separate, get out of this little meeting, and John was, the developer guy was like, you have to like react because they're gonna do something. He's like, and he like looks over at Beth and it's like, they already did something to my family. And so when Casey, Jamie, and John's all at the like little scene of the crime, he gets the main brother on the phone, and when I was like looking to see where the main brother was sitting, I'm like, that seriously looks like John's house. And like the two brothers was actually at John's house. And before, when the older brother was freaking out in the office, he was like, I need to go after the person he loves the most. I need to attack the person he loves the most. And so that, fast forward to that scene, and which is funny is when John was at the house or at the crime scene, he was like, oh, they could come to my house, I'll welcome it, like I'll leave the gate wide open. And of course, like they're at his house when they're nowhere, the other people are nowhere to be found, which is kind of funny because they all pretend that this house is such a big house when it's not really all that big. And Monica, the little boy, and Beth, and all of the cowboys are there on the property, not that far. So how, I'm just astonished that they actually could get past all of them to go sit in John's living room. But they are, and when he picks up the phone, you realize like he's sitting on his couch and his feet and watching his TV, and the other brother is walking around checking out all his liquor, and he's got his foot on his coffee table going, we gotta attack the person he loves the most. And he has like pictures on the coffee table of all of his family, and who is the top picture is the little boy. I'm like, his grandson, Casey's son, Casey and Monica's son. And I'm just like, no, like, don't, what, how, who could be that evil who's gonna like go and try to attack like a 7-year-old little kid? Like, these two brothers need to die. And it's gonna, I know there's like at least 2 or 3 more episodes in season finale, and I know that is going to just drag out. But I swear, if they don't kill him off this season, I'm going to freak. And I don't know how they were gonna like attack the little boy. They better not get anywhere near that little boy, because I swear. And there is a moment where Rip was actually with the little boy, and Beth was watching him, like training his horse and stuff, and kind of just seeing like how good he is with him, and like, you know, that woman intuition moment, you could see that in Beth's face. And John was actually watching her this whole time, watching him. That's kind of how I figured that John's kind of getting a clue that like, there's something going on there. And sorry, a little emotional moment. And it's like, you know, when like you see the guy you like and he's being like all good with a kid, and you kind of get that moment of hope, like, hey, he's gonna be good with kids. I really hope that happens. Anyway, that's my review for this episode. Brothers need to die. Rip and Beth just needs to get back with it. And Casey and Monica was actually talking about filling up all the empty rooms, filling them up, all the empty rooms in the house. And they were like in their bath, like taking a bath together. I just thought that was really cute. Anyway, that is my my review for this episode. So I hope you like it, and I hope you're watching these episodes. Nighty night.